Irene Aldana and Aspen Ladd in the bantamweight division. We're gonna do an early prediction. This fight literally just got announced maybe 1 day ago, maybe 2 days ago. I really don't care. We're gonna give a very early prediction for UFC 273 main card fight, Irene Aldana and Aspen Ladd. Now, it's gonna be a very self-explanatory prediction. Irene Aldana, way better striker, taller, lengthier, faster, more powerful, everything like that. And Aspen Ladd, her striking is nowhere near. I mean, getting knocked out by Jermaine the Randomy and then getting dominated in the striking by Norma Demont, I'm going to be honest, it's going to be a domination. I don't think that Aspen Ladd has much of a chance here. Yeah, she could go out to get a couple of takedowns and win the fight in the wrestling and grappling. But Irene Aldana, I believe she will defend a lot of these takedowns, keep the fight on the feet, and win the fight by a dominant knockout in the 3rd or 4th round. Yeah, we know that Irene Aldana did lose the Holly Holm fight mainly due to the wrestling and grappling. But that was a year and 2 months ago. We know that Irene Aldana, after losing that fight, mainly due to her wrestling and grappling deficiencies, we know she's been training on that part for a long time. The last year and 2 months, we know she's been training in her wrestling and grappling, and I know she will defend the takedown on Aspen Ladd, keep the fight on the feet, and she will knock her out, probably in the 3rd or 4th final round, or maybe she would just win the fight by decision right there. But a really good fight in the bantamweight division. My prediction, Irene Aldana by 3rd round knockout or in a 30-27 decision. Really good fight in the bantamweight division. 2 title fights announced for UFC 272, including Petr Yan versus Aljamain Sterling 2. I'm not too sure which one I should be referring to as the champion in this case, because I kind of refer to the interim champ Petr Yan as the actual champion, because I don't think he really lost that fight against Aljamain Sterling. But this is going to be a banger. I mean, the hype that will be built up into this fight is going to be absolutely insane. I mean, the press conferences are going to be crazy. It's going to be a crazy build-up for Yan, Aljamain Sterling 2. Both of them are accusing each other for cheating and all that stuff. It's just absolutely crazy. Yan is actually younger, in the prime of his career at 29 years old. He's a very young guy, actually. Same height at 5'7" inches tall, right around where I am. 67-inch reach, so Aljamain will have the reach advantage, but it's not going to have any real effect on the fight, because Yan is still the much better striker. Way more powerful, way more volume, way better technique. The boxing's better, the kickboxing's better, so the height, reach, all that stuff, it really doesn't matter, because he's just the better striker. Aljamain Sterling is not as good of a striker as Petr Yan, but it's going to be a really solid fight. Petr Yan is going to be the more powerful guy. He's going to be more volume, and I would say he has the wrestling advantage. I know Aljamain could definitely go out there like he did against Corey Sandhagen not too long ago. Which one was it? It was the second to last fight where he got a rear naked choke submission. It's possible he could go out there and submit Petr Yan. I don't see it happening. Yan's wrestling and grappling has improved so much in all of his fights, and his only losses are to Magomedov, a pretty solid wrestler over there, but he beat him in the rematch by defending the takedowns and outstriking him. That's exactly what's going to happen here. He's going to defend the takedowns like he did in their last fight. I mean, even better than he did in their last fight, because the last fight, if you look, let's go to Petr Yan right here. He was the one actually landing the takedowns. I mean, it is just absolutely insane that Petr Yan, a striker, an amazing boxer in the UFC bantamweight division, is the one out-wrestling and out-grappling Aljamain Sterling. You look right here, yeah, Aljamain Sterling has a little bit more volume there, but he is 1 for 17 on takedown attempts, 5% on takedown attempts, compared to Yan, 100% takedown accuracy, had more control time. I mean, he got a knockdown in the fight as well, 62% accuracy. I mean, he was doing absolutely amazing in the fight. You can maybe make an argument that Aljamain might have won 1 or 2 of these rounds right there, but Yan was definitely winning the fight, for sure, in my opinion. I mean, he landed more volume, he landed more more percentage, the amount of punches he throwing, the amount that are actually landing is just absolutely insane. So the takedowns won't be there for Sterling. He's not gonna land the takedowns on Petr Yan. Yan will keep the fight on the feet, defend them all day long, keep it on the feet, and do exactly what he did with Corey Sandhagen, do exactly what he did with Uriah Faber, Jimmy Rivera, and pretty much every other one of Petr Yan's opponents, where he defends the takedowns, keeps the fight on the feet, and just outboxes them. There's nobody in these UFC bantamweight division that is as good of a striker as Petr Yan. And if this is going to stay on the feet, which it will, given the takedown offense of Aljamain Sterling in their first fight, it's going to stay on the feet, and Petr Yan should have no problem winning this fight by another very dominant 49-46 decision. I'll give 1 round to Sterling because he might, I don't know, maybe he'll land 1 takedown and maybe he'll out-volume just a little bit, but overall, it should definitely be a Petr Yan decision win. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a knockout as well. My prediction, a 49-46 decision win for Petr Yan in the UFC bantamweight division. Put your predictions in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and we'll see you in the next video. Let's go. Alexander Volkanovski and Chan Sung Jung, also known as the Korean Zombie, just got set for March 5th in the main event for UFC 272. Now, we all know it was supposed to be Holloway Volkanovski 3, the trilogy in the main event. That fight got canceled due to an injury from Max Holloway. Now, per Ariel Helwani says, it's going to happen on the main event. Not quite done just yet, but it's almost there. Like, there's a couple more steps that need to be made for the fight to be made official. But number 4, Chan Sung Jung and Alexander Volkanovski, 99% sure they're going to be fighting on this card. Now for the prediction for the fight. Volkanovski with 23 wins, 1 loss, undefeated inside the UFC, second round TKO, decision win, knocking out Jeremy Kennedy, beating Darren Elkins by unanimous decision, knocking out Chad Mendes, beating one of the greatest fighters of all time, regardless of division, and one of the greatest featherweights as well in Jose Aldo, then beating Max Holloway twice by unanimous and very, very close to split decision, and then absolutely curb stomping Brian Ortega with a unanimous decision win. Now, he was of course supposed to fight Holloway on March 5th at UFC 272, but now most likely we're gonna get Chan Sung Jung, who I wouldn't say is deserving of the title fight. He lost to Brian Ortega by unanimous decision. I would say 1 year, 2 months ago, 1 year, 3 months ago, somewhere around that range. Yair Rodriguez, who got knocked out in that fight, only beating Renato Moicano, who is not ranked. Frankie Edgar, who right now in the bantamweight division is at number 11. And then the next guy was Dan Ige, who is at number 9 in the featherweight division. So, is Chan Sung Jung really worthy of the title shot? No, that's why we did Max Holloway versus Volkanovski. But this is the fight we have been dealt for UFC 272, and my prediction is going to be Volkanovski. I think he's a lot more powerful. I'm pretty sure he has the reach advantage. 5'6", 71.5 inches. It's like pretty much the exact same thing in reach, and very, very close in height. So the height and reach really won't play the biggest factor, but the thing is that the Volkanovski's leg kicks, the volume that he carries with all those leg kicks is going to give him that advantage. He has the power advantage with his hands. He has the wrestling advantage. Whenever he wants to, he can take down Chan Sung Jung. And if Brian Ortega was able to knock down Chan Sung Jung in their second to last fight, Volkanovski should be able to do the exact same thing. Now, am I saying he's going to get finished? No, I do not. The only time that Chan Sung Jung has been finished was a crazy head kick and a absolutely insane elbow in the 5th round and that knockout on Jose Aldo. Now, it's possible. It's definitely possible Volkanovski can knock him out in one of those later rounds. Maybe just devastating ground and pound shots, cuts open Chan Sung Jung, and the ref just stops the fight. But I don't think he's gonna like put him out cold or anything like that. But it'll be a good fight. I think the fight will go to a decision. I'll give 1 round, either the first round or the second round, because Volkanovski does start to do absolutely amazing in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, as we saw in the last two Max Holloway fights as well. But overall, Volkanovski is literally just the better fighter everywhere. The better kicker. He's a much better boxer with more power, more speed. The wrestling's better. The jiu-jitsu. It's interesting. The jiu-jitsu could go Chan Sung Jung, but I don't think that's going to play an issue, as Volkanovski just went against the best jiu-jitsu guy in the featherweight division in Brian Ortega and defended a lot of the submissions. So jiu-jitsu won't play a factor. Wrestling goes Volkanovski. The striking goes Volkanovski. The kickboxing goes Volkanovski. So everything really goes Volkanovski in the fight. So my prediction right here for Alexander Volkanovski and Chan Sung Jung as the main event for UFC's 272. They will update this picture. It is going to be Volkanovski by a 49-46 unanimous decision. But put your predictions down below in the comment section. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications to get notified for when I post a new video. And either in the top right or the top left hand side of the screen, you will see a link to become a channel member of BERT MMA. You'll see all of my favorite bets that I make for UFC 272 and literally every single UFC and Bellator card. Make sure to sign up and become a member for 10 cents. That is absolutely it every single day. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Let's go.